Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever and whenever you are. It is once again power scanning session time. Let's hunt for the most interesting trade setups for the week ahead. It is January 1st, 25th, uh, noon here in Montreal, noon Eastern time. And of course, I'm greeting you guys from our beautiful office in downtown Montreal for our beautiful screen next to me. And before we get into it, let me ask you guys a question. Where are you calling in from today? Who do we have in our room today? Please put your location into the Q&A box. Let's see. Let's see if we have some. Oh boy, Audrey, it's cold in Cyprus, surprisingly. 13 degrees centigrade. Cold for you. Yeah, it's been a cold week here in Montreal. I think at some point we had minus 20 centigrade in the mornings at least. Today it was or minus 13. So yeah, a cold week overall. Who else do we have? Seb from Argentina. Hey Seb, how are you? Good to see you. Ziggy aus Wien from Vienna. Hey Ziggy, what's up? David from Frankfurt. Nice to see you. David, were you just right now in our other session with CapTrader? Ralph from Winnipeg, I imagine that must be very cold too. Isn't Montreal playing Winnipeg today? Also on Tuesday. Big hockey game ahead. John from CA, California. Um, if California, I hope you guys are safe down there. Crazy, terrible things happening around LA. So hope you guys are safe and yeah, not in danger. Scott from Sacramento, California, I guess over there in the north. It should be fine. Venkat from Toronto. Hey Venkat, what's going on? Ralph says, ouch, it sounds cold where he is. Ben from Seattle. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Edda from Hamburg. Nice. Very close to Rostock. I used to, when I go home, always stop by at Hamburg main station, Central Station, to have one of my favorite dishes, which is called currywurst at the station. Has become, yeah, a tradition for me on my way home. Gary from Germany as well. Hauke from Hamburg. Oh, two people from Hamburg today. Gregory from Idaho. Nice. And I talked to your brother, Gregory, the other day, Nick, which was awesome. Jeff from, boy, what a full house today from Merritt Island, Florida. Cold here too. Yes, I heard that your pools are freezing. Yeah, must be tough times over there. No, I'm kidding. Daniel from NYC, Brian from Ohio, and Keith from the Scottish borders. You still there, huh? Do you live in Scotland? I thought you were just vacationing down there. And Gregory says the Acorn dashboard is not fixed. I'm going to look into that. Greg, please remind me by email. I will. I know I've received many emails from you, so maybe just with the one related to this, so we can check it out. And Ron from Las Vegas, also cold, but women are hot. Nice, Ron. Okay, guys, let's get into it. Wow, what a versatile crowd today. So my name is Daniel Sinning. I'm the guy here on the left-hand side, and we are, of course, of tradingindicators.com. Yeah, we are nearing our 10-year anniversary, which is going to be awesome. And together with Homa, we've started trading indicators back in 2000, yeah, 15 or 16, really. We've built hundreds and almost 1,000 different trading tools, trading indicators, fully automated bots for traders all around the world. And most of our latest innovations have been driven and spearheaded by our lead of engineering, Nicholas, here on the right-hand side. And Nicholas is also in the chat room today with us, and he's going to look out for some questions that you may have. So we believe that trading should be simple, and trading is simple, but you need to know what to look for. And you need to use the right tools. And today, we're going to show you a tool, of course, our beautiful Liquidity View dashboard, which will simplify your process of finding interesting trade setups by a lot, because it has a very, very powerful scanner. All right, so stay tuned for this. And of course, if you guys have any questions, please make this webinar your own. Put your questions into the Q&A box, and Niklas will keep an eye on those and bring them to my attention. I also need to quickly remind you that trading does contain substantial risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you actually can afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any trade ideas and setups discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, so with this out of the way, and thanks, Key, for confirming that you actually live in Scotland. Awesome. I've been to Scotland many, many years ago. This is a topic for another time. So before we get into it, a quick reminder, if you have not yet joined our brand new Discord room or server, please do so. The link is down here. Nicholas will also post this link into the chat room. It's already done. And it's been such a cool experience ever since we started the re-engineered, redesigned Discord server. And let me quickly give you an overview of what's in there, just real quick. Bear with me because it's been so much fun. So here, don't switch. So what we do, for example, we post some trade ideas. I posted a nice one. When was it? Yesterday. A beautiful short in MCL. I posted the setup that was forming and then also the outcome, which was nice. We have plenty of other information, even to the extent that, hey, there's some coding going on if you want to write your own strategy. Nicholas has been very active on those. Our members have been super active, which is awesome. And just this morning, Nicholas posted a beautiful move here in Ethereum. Of course, crypto trading. I guess that's the spot Ethereum. Yes, crypto trading 24/7. So the markets are not closed for cryptos, and we had this beautiful bounce of a support level here, as shown by our liquidity IQ indicator. So please join. It's a lot of fun, lots of information going on here, and you're going to miss out if you don't join. So tradingindicators.com slash, where are my slides? There we go. Slash Discord is the link that you should use. And I apologize if you have received an email yesterday with also an announcement of this Discord channel and the link did not work. We had a small typo in there, which made this link invalid. So please use this link moving forward. All right. Also, we are going to interactively look for interesting setups today using our Liquidity View dashboard. Now, if you don't have the dashboard yet, you can still follow along by signing up for a free trial, a full 1-week trial for our dashboard. And all you need to do is to go to tradingindicators.com/view. You get the dashboard for a full week for free. And if you want to stick around, well, then we have interesting monthly and yearly options. And the cool thing is, if you decide to sign up right now, you get instant access to the pro version of our dashboard. And for all of those who were in the Cap Trader webinar at 10 a.m. this morning and the German speaking webinar, this is the pro version of the dashboard that you've just seen with a lot of more features. So something perhaps to consider. All right. And one last thing, and then we're going to get into it. If you haven't downloaded our ebook yet, The Power of Three, here's the link to do so. Perfect. Nicholas will also put this link into the chat box. And I keep saying this, don't hold back your ideas and suggestions. There are no bad suggestions, of course, and your suggestions and feedback drive our innovation for this dashboard and actually for anything we're doing. So our indicators are driven by your feedback. Our dashboards are driven by your feedback as well. So please put your suggestions also into the Q&A box or just simply drop us an email afterwards. Okay, so let's get started with the market review. What has happened last week and what is likely to happen in the next week? Let's check it out. Yes, Gerd, you can also give your suggestions in German, no problem. Of course, then I'm the only one who can answer them. So it may take a little bit longer, but no problem. Yeah, so what has happened last week? So let me switch over to our dashboard. Let me just drag this in here right now. There we go. Okay, and we're going to start with some classics, the SPY. All right, the S&P 500 ETF. This trend channel here, I've drawn it for a long time now. And look what has happened. So just a beautiful thing if everything comes together. So price moved down, and this, I think we pointed this out last week as well, but the move just continued. Price went down to the lower end of the trend channel, nearing its support level down here. And we said, hey, this could be a great opportunity to re-enter into this long-lasting uptrend in the SPY. And look what happened here. Beautiful follow-through. And now I think we hit the all-time highs in the SPY on Friday. Of course, the market retraced a little bit afterwards, but yeah, great move. So you could have capitalized on this very nicely. And now, of course, we are at a crossroads. So we are right at this resistance level here, and we have to see whether price can power through it. If we do, I think new highs will be in order, of course, even beyond the upper end of this resistance level, 613 and above, towards, of course, the upper end of this trend channel. This is always the objective of a resumption of an uptrend, that we're going to near the upper end of this trend channel. So super exciting. And one thing that, for example, Jim Kenny, the option professor, always looks out for, and we haven't failed this benchmark in a long time, is that the close price of January should exceed the high of the previous month. And to him, this is always a telltale sign. Hey, this uptrend is completely intact and it's healthy. So we have 1 week to go. Let's see where we're going to close at the end of January, if we can exceed the all-time highs of December. So definitely looks good. All right, so that's for the SPY, but something interesting has also happened with the QQQs. So here, let me open up the QQQs, and then I'm going to switch over very briefly to an intraday chart too. So in the QQQs, it looked somewhat familiar, similar to the SPY. So of course, we are in a long-term uptrend. But here, we broke above resistance back here in November, or at the end of November in 2024. We made all-time highs, and then we retraced. And where did we go to? To the broken resistance level, which is now acting as support. And we called it out in the scanning session. This is, I think, also in our trade of the week in our newsletter, this is a prime opportunity for a zone break retrace entry, because it is quite likely that this uptrend is going to resume, based on the fact that, hey, this level will act as support. And look what happened. A beautiful up move. This could have been a very profitable trade, through whichever means you would have traded it, options or otherwise. And now we are once again here at a resistance level. Okay, so yeah, we are nearing resistance on the daily chart, but look what happened on the intraday chart. Let me just drag this in here from Trading View. And this is a 5-minute chart with Liquidity IQ applied to it, and we only need Liquidity IQ in this case. Look what happened. Price yesterday made not all-time highs, made a high for the day here at this resistance level. We get a liquidity capture event, and then guess what happened? We bounced back all the way and very rapidly. This was a very fast development here once the market opened, down to this support level. And guess what? Then this support level has held, and we retraced back up again. So very predictable moves, and this highlights once again the power of these resistance and support levels, as indicated by our Liquidity IQ dashboard. So really cool there. All right, so but back to the dashboard. Of course, we're here to look for swing trading setups. What else do we have? Russell, IWM. What's going on with the Russell? Also, look at this one here. A beautiful bounce setup. So price, I guess, made a high there. We also broke above some resistance level, but then we bounced, we corrected down to this support level. And look at this beautiful bounce off this level. That's textbook, guys. This is what we want to see, an immediate bounce once price wicks into this level. So I typically don't like it if price hangs out here at the support level for a long time. That can be a sign of weakness. But if we get the immediate bounce, look at what happens here. Like a nice follow through with a big move upwards. And now, of course, here we're trading at resistance. We're going to see what's going to happen. Price may bounce off once again, or if we power through it, the next stop will be here around 244, which is near the all-time highs in the mid caps. All right, that was that, but 2 more to go. Which one was it? There was oil. USO, United States Oil Fund. Okay, so oil being sideways moving. It feels like forever. I can't remember the last time oil was actually trending decisively in one way or the other. It has been in this sideways channel since at least 2023 September, so 1.5 years minimum, bouncing back between these upper and lower levels of this channel. And once again, we have approached, and I think we called this out last week as well, we have approached the upper end of this sideways channel. And guess what happened? We bounced off once again from it. So I think this story of oil moving sideways is not over yet, especially if you factor in what Trump has said at the Davos speech, that he wants to see cheaper oil prices and God knows what. So if this there's anything true of that, we may see another leg down in the oil price back to this support zone here at around 69 or even further, like 64 is, in my opinion, not out of the cards. So very interesting times here. My bet would be, hey, oil is going to continue to fall. At least that's how it looks like. And I like to go with the prevalent pattern, up, down again to these levels, or perhaps these levels here even. Okay, that was oil. And one last, let's look at gold, GLD, the gold ETF. All right, so gold is at a very interesting moment in time. So we drew these parallel trend lines last week, and I thought, hey, maybe we're gonna see another bounce to the short side in gold. Of course, I would not never have acted on it because gold is way too bullish for going short gold. I would not do it. So this didn't work out. The prices went above this intermediate resistance level. But now we are trading at this resistance level, this major level, which coincides with this all-time high in gold. And it looks like, at least temporarily, we may see a bit of a bounce off this level before I believe the overarching long-term trend is going to continue. So also here, it's going to be super exciting to see what's happening. If we power through it right away, then hey, I'm super bullish gold. I think we're going to go to much higher levels like 268, 270, or even further. So that's going to be interesting to see what will happen next week with gold. All right. But we have to wait. So right now, entering in either direction, I think is not very wise. We may see a bounce here, but I don't want to go short against a very bullish symbol. And going long, also not yet. I want to see confirmation if we actually can exceed this resistance level.
Daniel,
Yes.
I think it's a good point for a question from David because
Yeah.
that price there is in a resistance zone, and he wanted to
Yeah.
confirm, can you confirm that the resistance slash support text zone labels identifying the upper and lower price levels of the zones don't match exactly with the prices of the box? So I think he's wondering, do those levels in text actually line up, or how do they line up with the zone and the level itself?
These should be exactly the same levels. At least that's the intention. So these levels here should coincide. Sometimes trading with the drawings, it can be a bit misleading. But yeah, this is the dimension of the zone. So sometimes maybe it's not exactly identical to the dot. What's it, 258? No, it's, yeah, maybe. Oh, that's an interesting point. Oh, it's this level. One second, what's going on here? I think there's also a little bit of a drawing problem here. Good point. It should match up. I'm gonna bring this to the attention of our developer. Maybe there's a bit of a buffer included here. That's a good question, David. I'll ask. I'll check it out. What's going on here? Maybe it's a bug, and we're gonna fix it. But Niklas, what is it on the trading view version of
On
the
TradingView,
indicator?
it's definitely 100% correct. It lines up. So I
Yeah,
think it might just be a little drawing discrepancy, potentially on the dashboard, and maybe we
I'm
can
gonna
just
do a quick test. What was that
confirm.
gold? Let's just see. This is the trading view version, of course, of our liquidity view indicator. Let me switch it to the daily chart, to the daily level. There we go. All right, on GLD, also going to the daily here. What do we have?
We'd have to
All
turn
right.
on mentor mode too, I think.
Oh, yeah, mentor mode. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. It's good to, verify things right away. Why not? What's going on? So here, can I move this further down? Oh, come on. Why not? I don't know. I'm not sure why I can't scale it further down, but it doesn't matter. What the level here? Oh, no, now it works. Okay. So perfect. Okay. So here, what's this level? Is it the same?
The same
258?
as that's the same as on the dashboard, and I think here the drawing just matches up more exactly.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with the drawing there, but yeah, I'll have this verified. But uh, in case of doubt, focus on these levels here. Okay. That's the right one. Okay, perfect. Any other questions, Nicholas?
We just had a comment from Gerd where when he was speaking about German before, he was referencing the ebook actually in getting the
Ah,
German version.
that's not ready yet. Yeah. It has been a crazy week. I was in Dubai before, and then I think this is my ninth or 10th webinar since I got back. So that's on our to-do list. Gordon's gonna come. You're gonna get a notification once the German version of our ebook will be available.
Perfect. And then we have a chart request for later. And then from Kumar, he says, what's the best way to find stocks reaching major support levels for entry? So I think we'll
Yeah,
probably get to that when we look at
for
bounce
sure.
setup.
Yeah, Kumar, that's the purpose of this scanning session, to find exactly these interesting trade setups. And talking about that, let me quickly go back to my slides, because now we will, in fact, find these interesting trade setups for the week ahead. Some of these will be considered quite aggressive in the sense that, hey, our stop loss will be very tight because we want to go for the home run. Hey, we are thinking this stock or the symbol will stop falling right here and it's going to continue its upwards move with a very tight stop loss, allowing us to take a much bigger position size, because if we get stopped out, we would only lose a little bit, but also it's in a very aggressive position. So this, we might get stopped out in the process as well. All right, so we're going to focus one setup at a time, and we're going to create a hot list based on the setup, and then we are going to do a detailed analysis of the symbols in our hot list. All right, so and the key setups that we're going to be looking out for is the bounce setup, the zone break setup, and the zone break retrace setup. And today, I used to always combine the healthy pullback setup or not combine. I used to look at it as a separate setup, but today we're going to combine this one with the bounce setup, because I found this actually gives us super powerful, interesting entries. So we're going to use a combination of these two as one scan today. Just a quick reminder, what's the pullback setup? A pullback basically is a break in trend, a pause in trend where price temporarily retraces from a high to a lower point towards its mean. Can see it here. And our trend radar indicator helps us find these pullbacks. You see these little red patches here? These are what we call healthy pullbacks within a longer uptrend. All right, so that's that one. And now the bounce setup, of course, we're going to combine these two, is a setup where price is approaching support and may bounce off this level to the upside. So, and ideally, this happens while we are in an uptrend, as per Amy Rush. Okay, so let's find those interesting stocks. I'm going to go back to our scanner, and you'll see it's going to be interesting today. So going back to our status quo, which currently tracks 4,900 symbols. And Gerald, I saw your question about when the new symbols, the 3,000 plus symbols, will be added. It is in progress. Believe me, we're very close to having our new engine ready. We're just testing it now. We're working out some quirks, some bugs. Because we actually rewrote our entire backend for the dashboard, which allows to process symbols and all these calculations much, much faster. And this was required if we actually wanted to add a substantial amount of symbols to our list. So this is very close to fruition. And Gerald, I'd be happy to give you a preview once I have a beta version available of that dashboard, which tracks all these symbols. So yeah, please look out for an email for that, maybe in the next couple of days or maybe in a week from now. So we're very close. Okay. And of course, Zia, this is being recorded, so no problem. You actually see it on our YouTube page a bit later today. So if you go to tradingindicators.com, in the top right corner, there's a YouTube icon. Click on it. It brings you to our YouTube page, and you can find the recording of this session there. Okay, now back to work. So we want to find a stock which is pulling back. So how do we find this? Well, this is based on our trend radar indicator, this one here. And if we look at the scanner here, you also see a pullback column. Nice. So here we can, for example, select, we want to find stocks which are currently, let's say, in the level for pullback. All right. This is cool. So if I click on this one here, DGT, it trumps a very volatile stock. We can see, okay, as per trend media, we are in level 4 pullback. As per trend media, as per trend radar, we are in a level 4 pullback. The first 4 rows of trend radar are red, and the last one is green. So that's a healthy pullback. Perfect. But I would like to focus on stocks which are actually currently in a very substantial uptrend as well, because there, I think at least, it is more likely that the overall uptrend is going to resume anytime soon. So I want, or in other words, I want MA Rush to be bullish as well. So let's look at this one here, Hawkins Inc. This is a stock which is much more interesting. It's currently in a level 4 pullback. You can see the last little thin row column here is red in trend radar, but this stock has been going bullish forever. And in fact, this is a really nice nice symbol. It's very bullish. It pulled back to a level 4, but it is very nice. Don't get me wrong. I really liked it. I liked it even better when price was down here at this level because this coincided with this support level as well. And this is where our third criteria comes in. I want this pullback to coincide with a key support level. So how can we do this? Well, this is where well, actually, I should also fade the filter for bullish signals here real quick in MARASH. So we only want to consider bullish signals. Perfect. Okay, so now we're down to 166 symbols, but now I want this pullback to coincide with a key support level. So I'm going to use our Liquidity IQ setup column for this. I'm going to use the filter here, and I will select long bounds. This one here. And now we're down to only 19 symbols. I'm going to skip the first one because it's a future symbol, and somebody was asking, hey, when can we support futures with the scanner? I'm not sure. But I don't know very few people who actually day trade, swing trade futures. I think it's probably way too expensive. But from a technical point of view, it is a nice setup. Yeah, we are trading, we have a level 4 pullback. This is a long, a bullish stock which has been trending up for a long time, and we are near support level. But of course, it's hard to trade this one from a swing trading perspective using futures. And I don't think there's even a micro contract available for this. So let's move on from this one. A nice technical setup, but not really realistically tradable from a swing trading point of view. But let's move on. Next one, Dorchester Mills. And I think this one was also mentioned in one of our options alerts, I think at least. So this one is more interesting, even though it's a bit too volatile. I think we're going to find a more interesting one. But this one here, right now, otherwise it's been trending up for 957 trading days. We have found key support here, and we are in a bullish uptrend. And I think it is not unlikely that we will see a nice bounce above this level now in the future. Based off this key support level. This happened very nicely in the past. Look at how nice the price has respected these support levels here in the past. And I think this may happen in the future again. It is a very volatile stock. Don't get me wrong on this. These swings here are substantial. So there's some risk involved. But I think this can be an interesting one for the week ahead. So I'm going to add this one to our watch list. So let me create it first. I'm going to go down here to my watch list column here. Okay, I'm creating a new one. Setups. 2025. I can't believe it's already 2025. Boy, time flies. January and 25th today. All right, so create. This creates an empty watch list, and I will add this stock to our watch list. All right, that's done. Next one in the list, Atma Biology. Okay, what do we have here? So also this one, is a stock which has been trending up for a long time, for more than 644 trading days in an uptrend. And let's see what's happening here. Yeah, we pulled back nicely, and guess where do we pull back to? We pulled back right towards this support level, and we have a level 4 pullback. So I think once again, this is a very interesting setup where price may bounce off this level to the upside. So I'm also going to add this one to our watch list for the week ahead. Similar setup than what we had before. And perhaps one more. FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation. Oh boy, this is an extremely expensive stock, as you can see here. We do have a level 4 pullback. It's a nice strong uptrend, of course, extremely expensive. But nonetheless, I think an interesting candidate. The only thing I don't like too much about this one is that we still have ways to go to this pullback zone, to this support zone. So I think there's more downside action in the cards. And let's see where we are next week. So here I'm going to stay on the sidelines because I think it's going to go down a bit further here. So let's wait with this one. And perhaps was one more here, CSW Industrials. Yeah. So we already went down to this level. Also, in my opinion, a bit too far off. And I kind of would have hoped that, hey, the original bounce off this support level would have worked out. Now we retrace. So I'm going to stay also on the sidelines with this one. Okay. So you get the point how this works. Just one more. And of course, I'm going to skip. I don't even know the stock here. Moog Inc. Um, bounced also down here. I think they had earnings coming out. We bounced all the way down to the support level and then retraced back up. So this was actually, had we seen this intraday, this could have been a really nice move because we also had a liquidity capture at the same time when price wicked down here to I guess we opened up here, then price went down really quickly to this level, stopped there, and then went up about 5% back up to where it closed out. So an interesting one. Definitely support has held up, but let me just quickly see what's my opinion to this one. I mean, it is an appealing stock. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna also add this one to our list, at least to our short list for later on. Perfect. And then the last one, you may have seen it here. Apple is waiting. So Apple has been discussed a lot. Of course, everybody knows Apple. We made all-time highs in Apple at Christmas last year. So since then, price has retraced. It didn't stop. I originally thought, hey, it's going to stop at this broken resistance level, which would act as support. Nope, it didn't stop there. Price powered through, but it seems to pause, at least for now, at this key support level. And this is still a level 4 pullback, despite Apple going down here from 260 down to 220 or even lower. Still only a level 4 pullback as per trend radar. And I think this can be an interesting opportunity to look for longs in Apple. Definitely, we're going to get it at a discount now at an interesting support level. If I would trade this, I would put my stop fairly close below this support level. If you lose this one, I think, yeah, this level here could be the next stop, or worst case, all the way down here to 183 or perhaps 160. I would not stay in that downtrend for this long. So my stop would be so fairly nearby this support level. But also let's also add Apple to our list. All right, perfect. Are there any questions, Niklas, for these interesting bounce setups with a pullback scenario from Trend Radar?
Yep, we have a question from, well, this isn't related to these setups, but we might as well answer it from Gerald. He says, is it a planned feature to have a column showing the membership of symbols in various indexes? So for example, you have a column and then it says, it's in the Dow or it's in this.
Yeah. That's a good idea. If we can pull this data somehow from our data source, perhaps we could do this. What's definitely going to be coming, Gerald, and that's in the works right now, is we're going to show in which sector is symbol is trading and in which industry group is symbol is trading. So that's already in the making. It's going to be part of the big change that we're planning for the dashboard with the new infrastructure. So that's coming for sure.
Perfect. And the rest of the question. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Nicholas, just on that topic. By the way, guys, and this was long requested from many users, we are going to have another column, dividends, in here, showing us, hey, what can you expect in terms of dividends, historically speaking? What's the dividend yield and so forth. So that's for all dividend investors among you. That's going to be very helpful. So please look out for this as well. This will be added very soon to the dashboard. So as you can see, we have really big plans for this dashboard. It's our baby. It's what we use all the time to find swing trading setups and longer term investments.
Perfect.
So please stay tuned for that.
Most of our questions are symbol requests, but Kumar asks, one of the stocks you just discussed, there was a candle wicking into a liquidity capture zone. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think it was here, Moog. Huh? Was it this one? Yeah. I'm not sure what happened here. Probably an earnings report or some other fundamental news that came out. The stock really plummeted. It wicked into this level. So wick means the low of the candle, not the body, just the the low price went all the way into this level, and then it came back up. And the liquidity capture is this little shaded area here, which basically denotes, say, this was, in addition to all this, also a high volume candle. The trading volume was exceptionally high for this candle, and to some degree, this could be interpreted as, say, big buy block orders are stepping in, preventing price from dipping further down, and a reversal may be in order. That's kind of the, this could be one interpretation of this liquidity capture event.
Perfect. And Aubrey just says they think it's more useful. It could be more useful to have an industry or sector, like you mentioned, filter, and then later on get that index filter.
Yeah, that's coming. I'm super excited. I'm talking to our developers every single day. They are super busy, and this whole rewriting of the backend took a bit longer than I expected, but I think you're going to be very pleased once that's ready. Yeah. All right, perfect. So let's move on. So this was our pullback plus or slash bounce scan. I think we got some really interesting setups here. But let's move on to the next one. What about a zone break setup? Also an interesting one, because zone breaks are happening whenever support is broken to the downside or resistance is broken to the upside. And when this happens, we may see a substantial follow-through, of price in the direction of the breakout. You can see it here. Support was broken to the downside, and what a nice follow-through we had. Or here, we're going to combine these two setups too. Resistance was broken to the upside, and we had a nice follow-through. But in this case, there was one caveat. We first retraced down to the broken resistance level, which is acting as support. We call this the zone break retrace setup, which is quite a common phenomenon once a zone break happens. So let's check this out. How does this, how can we find setups like this with our dashboard? So back to our dashboard. I'm going to clear up the scanner. You can see it here, this yellow button clears up all the filters, I should say, and we're back to our 4,900 symbols. Okay, so let's first look for just regular zone break setups. Once again, this is done by our Liquidity IQ setup column here. I'm going to use it, and I will select long break. All right. So now we can see, of our 4,900 symbols, 229 are currently trading above their resistance level, above the highest resistance level on the chart, I should say. And basically all these stocks, in theory, they have blue skies ahead. They've been trading above the resistance. So let's look here. Oh, Constellation Energy. That's a nice one too. we have definitely featured this symbol many times in our newsletter. And just looking at web prices right now, it probably would have been a good idea to follow some of our recommendations, or I shouldn't say recommendations, but our ideas back then. So this was a Constellation Energy, and we can see, yes, it is trading far above its resistance level. Would I trade this one right now? Probably not. We are overextended. The move has already happened to some degree. We're too late to the game for this one. No problem. We have other stocks to look for. Okay, so here this move has already happened. But how can we find stocks where the break just recently happened? Well, very easy, because we can add a second filter to our Liquidity IQ setup column. So the first one was long break, and the second one I'm going to be adding now is this one here, current, which shows up only the long break stocks where the break just recently happened on the last trading day on Friday, yesterday. And the first one that comes in here is this one here, International. I'm actually not sure what exactly this stock is, but SNEX broke on yesterday above its resistance level. And look what's happening here. Yep, it's a long-term bullish stock, bullish for 1,169 trading days, and now it broke above resistance. And this could be an interesting opportunity to enter into this long trade now that we have cleared resistance, and we may see another push higher. Definitely an interesting one. So I'm going to add this one to our list as well. But what about this one? Group 1 Automotive. This one, of course, a bit more expensive. Same thing here. We kind of hovered a little bit above this resistance level. We went a bit higher, retraced back into it, and technically this was a new breakout, but this could also be seen as a zone break retrace trade already. And yes, this one is interesting too, especially since we are still trading in the proximity of the original breakout level. So around 449 right now. Yeah, let me just see what's going on here. from an overall trend perspective. Because also this one bullish, bullish, bullish for a long time. So I'm going to also add this one to our list of interesting stocks. All right. And perhaps one more, but I guess you guys get the point of how this is working. WAB, yeah, bullish for 1,040 trading days. Jesus. And we just had a zone break on our last candle on Friday. You can see it here and also here. If we see this level to be cleared, we may see another push higher towards 220 or even higher with this stock. So interesting ones. I'm going to add this one as well so we can review these ones later on. But a little word of warning here. We are, and it's just by the very definition of a zone break, we are going to be extended. So will be trading because a breakout happened. We will be trading far above our average, as you can see it here. Okay, that's just the nature of the thing. But what if we could avoid this? We could find stocks which are actually nearer their averages, where we already had a bit of a pullback after a zone break. Well, this is where our zone break retrace trade comes in. So a retrace trade is we had the zone break and then price came down back to the broken level. How can we find those ones? So I'm going to clear up all our stocks here one more time. And now I will select long break retrace here in this column. And once done, wow, only 4 stocks qualify. Can you believe it? Crazy. And okay, only 4 stocks of our 4,900. So it's a very rare setup, but sometimes the rarest things in life are the most precious ones. And without being esoteric here, let's see which setups we have. So first off, let me start with this one here. Oops. Yeah, Cheniere Energy. Yep, energy has been discussed a lot because chances are, especially with the advent of AI, many companies will be extremely energy hungry. I read somewhere that an AI search compared to a regular Google search takes 20 times as much energy as a regular Google search. So, if you just do the math there and take into account the fact that even right now, with regular Google searches, Google's energy cost just for running the search engine is their biggest expense factor. It's not the employees, it's to power the data centers of energy. And imagine now that, in AI searches where things are moving towards to, is taking 20 times more energy. Yeah, so bidding on energy stocks, I think, is a good idea, definitely in the long run, but perhaps even for the medium term. So Cheniere Energy, we had the zone break here. You can see it here, a nice follow through, but then it went down all the way back to the broken resistance level, which is now acting as support. I really like this one. So this is definitely going to be on my list as an interesting stock for the next week. So let's add this as well. Cheniere Energy. And perhaps one more. Let me look at this one here. Gulfport Energy, another energy stock, kind of similar scenario. I don't want to be redundant in terms of the sector, so I'm going to skip this one for now. And I think this is also an energy stock, LNG, natural gas, perhaps. We can see it here. A similar scenario. We broke above resistance. Price came down and up again. Now we're trading once again near this resistance level, hopefully acting as support, which may drive price further up. Let me just quickly see what's going on here with this stock. Yeah, very nicely moving upwards. I mean, it is interesting. The fact I really don't like what I don't like about this one is that these corrections, at least historically speaking, they are quite deep. So if this repeats itself, we can see here we corrected below this broken resistance level a few times in the past. It may happen here again that we're actually going further down. So I'm going to skip this one just because these corrections have been a bit deeper than on average for other stocks. All right. Okay. Nicholas, any questions at this point?
We just have symbol requests. Daniel and Kumar, I'm getting to your question. I'm going to send you a couple of video suggestions as well.
Perfect. All right. So then let's review our hot list, and then we're going to look at the symbol request in just a bit. First, a little sip of my nice Tim Hortons coffee. Of course, Tim Hortons. Just like in most cities in Canada, just around the corner here in our office. Okay, so let's go to our watch list. All right, so this time we found really a lot of interesting symbols in our watch list. Now clear out the filters, and we have, yeah, 8. Perfect. That's a good, reasonable number. Let's start with, well, you know what? Let's start with Apple. I like Apple. I think it is a great setup. Apple, of course, a huge company with a lot of great tools and technology. So I think the uptrend in Apple is unstoppable. It's going to happen. This is a correction of these all-time highs. And you know what? This brings up another thing that we definitely going to add to our dashboard. And I don't know what it is right now for Apple, but we're definitely going to be adding seasonality to our dashboard as well. Because it's a matter of fact that certain symbols, for whatever reason, they tend to trend up the strongest in certain periods of the year. Maybe in December for Apple, as it seems like here, maybe all the Christmas shopping. And perhaps during other times, they may be losing some pace. And having knowledge of this, when perhaps something is likely to retrace, at least historically speaking, or perhaps likely to really accelerate, I think that could be very useful to have to make a final trading decision. So please also look out for that. That's going to be added soon to our pro dashboard as well. Seasonality. And in fact, what this requires, just so guys let you know from a technical point of view, is we of course need to have a much longer history of how the stock reacted over time. So right now, if you scroll back all the way on the chart, it goes back to around 2017. To me, that's not enough to do any meaningful seasonality analysis. So we're actually going to be using data which goes much further back to the stock pricing. But as you can imagine, fetching all this data, storing it is a challenge. And this is all these little puzzle pieces which make it a bit more complicated to develop the new version of the dashboard. But once it's there, I think it's going to be really awesome. Okay, so for Apple, I like it. I'm going to add this one to our hot list for next week. And in fact, I'm going to add a trade note for Apple. All right, so I'm going to go here to Apple and add a new note with the current timestamp. And all I will do is I'm going to add just a screenshot of this current chart. So here, clicking on this one, this takes like, I don't know, a second to load. And then the screenshot will be in here. And this is going to be a reminder that, hey, on today, on January 25th, we looked at the setup. We know what the setup is. It's a clear bounce setup to the long direction. We called out the setup. And perhaps next week, we can see what happened to this setup. In fact, I encourage you guys to perhaps check out the setups that we had last week because most of them panned out really nicely. Okay, so Apple looks good. Let's move on. Mook Inc. Class C. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this one. Actually, I don't know this stock at all. And it is a nice setup, but the price retraced quite a bit from this support level. So it wicked down here, came all the way up, and now we're a bit further away. So to me, not so interesting from this point of view. So I'm gonna skip this one. Atma Biology. So here, what do we have here? So a level 4 pullback, we can see it here. This is a very bullish stock. Yeah. Let's see. We are still above these swing lows. So this uptrend is definitely valid. We're making higher highs. And I think, yeah, this could be an interesting one. So I'm going to add this one also to our hot list. Same thing. Price is very near support here. And depending on where we open on Monday, it could be an interesting idea to perhaps enter long into this trade. So also I'm going to go to my trade notes here and add the screenshot as well.
Daniel,
Yes.
when you have a second here, could you also explain for people what the R score is?
Yeah. Let me just go through these setups first, and I'm going to go back to the R score. Is that cool?
Sure. Yeah.
Now that we're on the row here. Okay, DMLP, Dorchester Mints, whatever it is, yeah. Minerals, yeah. Okay, so here we are, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely a stock that's been trending up, but it seems to me that we are in some sort of sideways consolidation after this all-time high here. So these sideways phases tend to last for a long time. I think it's a bit risky because we may even go to these levels down here. I'm going to stay on the sidelines of this one. Of course, it's a nice bounce setup. I think we have more interesting ones to call. And it's not out of the question that, hey, this will not hold and we're going to go all the way down here. Westinghouse air brake technology. Oh, okay, this was our breakout setup. All right, so what do we have here? Yes, that's an interesting one. After this deep correction, we finally back on the bicycle. We broke above resistance here. And yeah, I like it. So I think this could be an interesting, aggressive long position. I know uh, we are extended. We are quite far away from these levels. Here, I would wait until the price completely clears this green zone, perhaps goes to like 210 or a bit higher. If it does, I would go in by a um, short buy order. Stop buy short buy, stop buy order at this level. So let me just add this one. Oh, you know what? I would wait. Let's wait next week where prices, because here I still think we're not clear enough for this one. So let's be careful. Chine Energy, that is my favorite stock. I think it's beautiful. It, made all-time highs. We have a zone break retrace set up, which doesn't come around very often anymore. So a beautiful zone break retrace right to this broken resistance level. So I think here, this is also a level 2 pullback on trend radar. This is probably my favorite for going into next week. So I'm going to add this one for sure to the most interesting list for next week. Also, I'm going to add the screenshot. So this one. All right. Close. Perfect. And Group 1 Automotive. Yes, we had the zone break here. Let's just see. Where are we trading? Yeah, looks good too. I mean, we are clear this level. And of course, if you play these zone breaks, if it doesn't work out, you're going to get stopped out right below the zone. I would put my stop somewhere just below this level here, perhaps at 430. It's a reasonable stop loss. But if it's true, if it's right, if it pans out, yeah, we may see a nice follow through easily to levels like 480 or even higher. So a nice reward to risk ratio. So let's also add this one to our list. All right. And then finally, SNEX. All right, just a second. Close it up. Okay, SNEX. There we go. Oops. So of course I have to click on it first. Let's see. Yeah, here I would wait too. We were already higher. Now we went down again. Almost like a very quick zone break retrace. It's definitely interesting. I think it's going to be bullish, but I don't know if this is going to be the final push higher. We may see a bit of sideways action here. So I'm going to stay also on these sidelines for this for now. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 super interesting stocks for the week ahead, and I'm quite happy with that selection so far. All right. So Nicholas, what questions did come in? I saw the R score was one of them.
Yep, that's one question. And then the other question is from David. When MA Rush triggers bullish or bearish labels, how powerful of a signal is that? Like on the bar, the signal is given.
I mean, we have users, and I mentioned this before, who exclusively trade these levels. Just find a stock which where the trend change was a bit more recent. I'm gonna just find one here. Let me just sort this alphabetically. So perhaps this one here. AAT. I don't know this symbol, but AAT, it's going up. Let me just quickly see what's going on here. Yeah. So here we had a bullish signal at this bar, and price, went through went up very nicely afterwards. And then before this, we had a bearish signal up here. And it would have been a nice follow through as well. So, it doesn't always work out like this, but it can be quite beneficial to trade according to these levels. We don't do it. I think we can time our entries even a bit better than these signals. And they're not meant to be like trade entry signals. They are changes in momentum from bearish to bullish or vice versa. But as I mentioned before, we do have users who just use these signals exclusively. And we actually ran a back test with the Ninja Trader Strategy Builder or strategy tester at some point, only trading these signals, and they were quite interesting and promising.
Cool. And we have another question here from David. So when you're looking at those zone breakout setups, where do you usually set your target? What do you use for that?
That's a good question. That's the hardest setup to trade in terms of target, because we don't have any reference points above that. You can see it here. We had a zone break on the symbol, but where to put your target? I think the best way to trade this is with a trading stop and of some sort. Initial stop loss will be just below the zone here, but as things clear the zone, put your stop to break even, and then just, put it at logical swing point until you get stopped out. Because there is no real target, so I would just perhaps just adjust my stop and then just ride it up as far as possible. And then you're gonna get stopped out at some point. That's when
Perfect.
you
And we have a
close the
question
trade.
from Kevin, and I also have this question. For the earnings date column, what's happening with the earnings date?
Yeah,
Kevin wanted to,
it's
yeah,
broken.
it's okay. So the
It's
fix is going to
broken.
come.
It's
Yeah,
coming. Yeah, we oh boy, yeah. Yeah, you have no idea what's going on in the back end. We're dealing with different data providers, and if they change something on their APIs, often they do it without telling us anything. So this was an API which just stopped working the way it used to work. So it's currently broken. It will come back in the new version. So the new version is about to be released for beta, and it's going to be there again, and it's going to be I think our time is better spent getting the new version ready than fixing this old version with this particular column not working. But right now it's not working. I agree.
perfect. So Kevin's question was, is there some way to, filter for stocks that have upcoming earnings? So Kevin,
It
yes, that was
will
possible and
soon.
will be possible shortly.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's a question here. And the rest of our questions, Daniel, are just simple requests. And
And the R score.
yeah,
Right.
the R score. And just one thing Moshe said, snow in Florida might raise OJ prices. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. OJ. Didn't we talked about OJ um, as an extremely bullish stock. These are the OJ futures. And I have to say these futures priced on our dashboard. This is a data provider issue. Are not the cleanest. I don't know how they stitch together these different contracts in the futures market. But yeah, but certainly it's an uptrend for a long, long time. You can see it. And yeah, maybe cold prices in Florida, big producer of orange juice, of course, could drive these prices further up. And yes, that's an interesting setup at the lower end of this trend channel, at the support level, at the level 4 pullback. Yeah, all things are looking nice for another
Super nice.
push higher. Yep. Okay, R score, real quick. All right, so the R score is a column which typically is not enabled by default, but you can enable it here in your column configurator. Down here, you can see R score. Just put this on here. It's this column here. So R score relates to our, and exclusively relates to our trend radar indicator, which is the one below the chart here. So this indicator down here. So let me go to, let's say, Agilent Technologies. We can see the R score is 130 and it's green. Okay, that means we have near term. Oh, sorry, I should rephrase this. So, and we definitely do need some documentation for this, but over the last 50 bars, because that's our look back period for the R score. So 50 bars here, we have counted kind of or put together the red squares in here and the green squares of trend radar, where more weight is given to more recent ones and more weight is given to the longer term ones, the lower rows. So there's some weighting involved as well. And the overall score for the last 50 bars, if you put all these things together, it's 219. So you can think of 130. You can think of the green ones counting positive and the red one's counting negative. So this is a positive score of 130. The red ones here would be a negative score of 81, minus 81. Okay, so that means basically over the last 50 bars, how bullish or how bearish was this symbol? So last 50 bars perhaps started here. We can see there's a lot of downwards action, but also a bit push higher. And this is the culmination of this price action basically in the last 50 bars. So let me find something very extreme. This one here, American Airlines, 395. Super bullish over the last 50 bars. And if you look at this one here, last 50 bars, very, very bullish. Yeah, it's a much higher score. So the higher it is, the better it is. So let me just put a little filter here. Let's say over 400, like super high R scores. Barnes Group. Here we had the huge gap. I guess that's why. It's not the clean symbol. Let me go to this one. Yeah, if you have big gaps, it will affect your R score. But I think you get the point. Like really, really bullish over the last 50 bars. And vice versa, a very negative score, less than minus 400, And we just don't put the minus sign here, but it's a red score. I mean, this stock has been plummeting the last 50 bars. So, you can use this information to see how bullish or how bearish a bar recently over the last couple of months has been. All right. Other questions?
Cool. Yeah. We have one here, Daniel from Barry. He has MA Rush and Divergence Cloud on wealth charts, but he has Liquidity IQ on Trading View. He wants to know, is it possible to transfer things from wealth charts to Trading View?
Yeah, that's possible. You just lose access to wealth charts, but yeah, we can make this happen. Send me an email afterwards at info@tradingindicators.com, or simply go to our contact form on our homepage. We'll go to my inbox as well, and we can make that happen.
Cool.
Mhm.
And the rest is symbol requests, and I'll get back to you here. David actually has an interesting question. He says, kind of like how we have the AI chat GPT stuff with our free alerts, do
Yeah.
we plan to incorporate that into the dashboard somehow?
It's not planned at this moment, but you never know what's going to happen. So this dashboard is driven by your feedback, and it's definitely something of interest. I didn't even think about it. What's going to happen, by the way, is a brief description. Once, let's say I don't know a symbol, and we are so focused on technical analysis, I sometimes don't even know the full symbol name because I only focus on technicals. We're going to have a little pop-up here to actually read some additional information about what this symbol does, what this industry, this company does, what's the field of business, what has happened, and so forth. So that's going to come too.
Cool. Okay, so we're good on questions, Daniel, till the symbol request.
Let's do symbol request then. Yep.
Okay, so let me go from the top here. We have one, and Keith says he lives at the Scottish borders. Um, Derek would
So
like.
so that means you live in England? Sorry, just a little. I guess so, huh? Must be if it's the Scottish borders to the north. I would guess so. Anyways, perhaps you can qualify.
We have a question from Derek. He wants us to look at the weekly chart of gold. I don't know if we can we do that?
We can look at the chart. Yeah, we actually can. So here, the weekly coming up. Yeah, looks kind of the same as the daily kind of. We made all-time highs, retraced back to support here, came now back up to resistance. Yeah, kind of the similar chart than before. So it doesn't change much here for me at least. Very bullish. I mean, I want to see a break above this level. If we do, I'm going to be super, super bullish gold to make higher levels. Until this happens, we may see a bit of a bounce off this key resistance level to the downside.
Cool. And can we take a look at Apple?
We did already. Apple we already had, but I can look it up
Okay, this
one
was an
more
old
time.
symbol request, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's actually one of our trade ideas where we
Long
uh
bounce.
yeah, we have a nice long bounce set up with a trend radar level for pullback.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you look at RCAT if we didn't already? RCAT. Yeah.
RCAT. Oh yeah, this one I intelligently skipped. It has a long break retrace setup. I looked at this before, just too far off this level. So, and this just it just came from these penny stocks now to these bigger levels. Too unpredictable for me to trade this with a technical setup. I'm gonna, yeah, not my cup of tea. But yeah, very bullish, big move here. But this is obviously too far away from this level. This will not have an effect right now. We need to drop like a 50 or 100% from the current, or 50% from this current price to reach this one. But if this happens, then of course we kind of also have a bearish stock. So nah, not my cup of tea.
Well, and can we check out LNG? So Aubrey mentioned this, said it's at the mean.
Oh, Chenier. Yeah,
We already did, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I don't think it's at the mean in terms of trend. MA Rush. Can see the mean would be somewhere here, at least for MA Rush, but it is definitely at the former resistance level now acting as support. So I like it, and I like the fact that hey, energy is gonna go have a glorious future. I think in 2025 and longer, especially for all the AI stuff popping up left and right.
Cool. And we have 3 requests for Tesla.
All right, Tesla is a no man's land. I tell you right now, it's right in the middle between support and resistance. Level 3 pullback though. So if you were to, and we were bullish, of course, Tesla went up. A nice level 4 pullback. I think yeah, also here it was nice. Also level 3 pullback. It's nice. If you want to do the pullback game, you may think about going long Tesla. Just keep in mind that, hey, resistance is coming up at around 480. Unfortunately, we're not near any support levels. I really like it when it comes together, a pullback with a support level, which we don't have in Tesla. So it's kind of in between right now. Yeah. This if you pull back all the way to 200 here, then of course, I'm not sure how bullish Tesla will be. It looks bullish now, and if you pull back a bit further, maybe a level 4 pullback, perhaps to 370s, it could be an interesting long entry in the expectation that it will, continue higher to like 480 again to its all-time highs.
Perfect. And Daniel, can you hop back to the RCAT chart for a second, please?
Yeah.
So we have a question, and I just want to confirm because it looks a little, on the daily chart, RCAT, Red Cat Holdings. What happens if you hit the reset button at the bottom of your chart there, Daniel?
Was the problem is that we're so far away here from this one? Is that the issue?
We're on the daily chart here, right? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I guess the issue was the question from Gerald was how come the recent pullback didn't establish a new support level? And the reason for that is, well, the algorithm is looking for what we call volume significant pivots on higher time frames. So if
Yeah.
those haven't happened, then the pullback's not going to register.
And
Here,
yeah, and
this
this
weekly.
stock this stock is like, has such a recent history, at least in these levels where it's trading right now. Before this was so far away, that's probably why. So for these, recent not crazy, but very accelerated stocks with little history in the price region where we're right now, this is exactly why you may not see any significance levels yet. There's simply not enough price action at these levels. But you're right. Why is
Daniel, no,
390?
the reason I asked you to go back here is because I looked at that question and on my chart,
Oh yeah.
my chart actually looks different than yours on the daily.
On the
Yeah, like
dashboard?
you see this resistance level on the weekly that we just saw?
Yeah.
That for me is visible on the daily
On
on
TradingView
RCAT.
or on the dashboard?
Yeah, maybe that's something we could look at after.
Really? Let me just sometimes restarting a website is the solution to all your problems. Let's see.
Shifting
Okay.
F5, yeah.
And no, weird. Okay, Nicholas,
I'll
let's
note
take
that
this
down.
offline. Let's take this offline. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and we have a request for NVIDIA.
Yeah. Yeah, Nvidia, of course. Come on. Oh boy. There we go. Nvidia. Okay, so yeah, it attempted. Actually, it made all-time highs. It went all the way up here. I believe it did. Here, about a couple of cents. All-time highs here, Nvidia. At this resistance level with liquidity captures, a sharp bounce off the all-time high, all the way down to the support level, and now it went up again, but we retraced back down again. It's kind of a no man's land. We call it the magnet zone in between support and resistance. It's very volatile in this space. So if anything, I would wait either until Nvidia really continues pushing above its all-time highs. Otherwise, I'll wait for a retracement back to a level down here around 130 and then consider a long position in Nvidia. I definitely would not short it. It's just way too strong for this. But it's also been quite volatile in recent history. The superstar of stocks. If it comes down here, great entry opportunity to get it cheap. Or if it breaks above here, I think then we have blue skies ahead. But right now, I would wait until either of these events happening. All right.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm looking if we have any other symbol requests. It looks like we have one from Kumar on Netflix. He says,
Yeah.
what would be the zone breakout strategy here on Netflix?
Yeah, zone breakout on Netflix. Let me just open it up. There we go. So Netflix, yeah. Okay. So we broke. Yeah, we broke above this resistance level. We made all-time highs. We went almost to 1,000. I think I had 98 or something was the what was it? 999 was the high of this bar. Then we gapped down up again. Now we're trading here. This to me looks like I mean the problem of this one is that we had this big gap from this bar all the way to here. It's a huge gap, and gaps tend to be filled over time. So this may weaken this level. Otherwise, it could be a nice zone break retrace entry if it goes down to 944. But because of we had this gap, this level may not hold, and we may actually retrace a bit further before this upwards move will continue. But yeah, for sure, Nvidia and I mean Netflix being super bullish, but maybe a bit too late to enter now. We just had this huge move. We may see a bit of a correction afterwards if this level holds. Not sure because of the big break that we had.
Cool. And from Gerd, Palantir, PLTR.
Yeah. Oh, PLTR. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, very bullish, but we are approaching resistance. So on trading, we would say it's a short bounce setup. I would not go against Palantir, the trend. The uptrend is just too bullish, but we are facing resistance here. So we may see a bit of a correction. If we get above this level, about 86, 87, yeah, I think I would consider this definitely for a long trade. I think there's a bright future ahead of Palantir.
Definitely. And that is from Gerd. And now from Barry, FPH. So this is looking like
Pfizer.
an NVIDIA scenario to an extent as well.
But the other side, kind of thing, like
No,
a bearish.
FPH, like
I thought
Fred PH.
I thought you were talking Pfizer because Pfizer has been trading down forever. This stock, for example, guys, I mean, it is super discounted right now. From a technical point of view, there's nothing there which would indicate this downtrend is stopping, besides the fact that here we are at the support level, which has been tested a few times. But this is Pfizer, and it is probably in the too big to fail category. So long term, and this, I know we can play it the way you want. I think there's going to be some rebound happening from this big negative trend. I'm sure they're working on new medication, new things, and which will bring the stock price further up. But this would be a long term move based on more like a fundamentals and technicals. Okay, next one, Nicholas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the symbol was actually FPH, like Fred
F.
PH.
All right. Oh, H. Sorry.
H, yeah.
5 Point
And I was saying
Holdings.
this looks like NVIDIA. And
Yeah. That. Oh, I mean like Netflix, where it popped up
sorry,
above
yeah,
after
yeah, like
earnings.
Netflix, my
Yeah,
mistake. Yeah, big gap
yeah,
up and zone break.
big. Yeah, not sure. Well, definitely too far away at this point to take any trades. If we see it come down to this level, perhaps. And
Cool.
perhaps
And
one last symbol. Yeah, and then I'm gonna close it out.
sure. And so Kumar, I will send you a link explaining the trend radar. And Aubrey wants to see if you were in Cloudflare, net,
Yeah,
would you stay in it?
Cloudflare. I like Cloudflare. Our servers are powered by the Cloudflare web application firewall. Let me see. Good old Cloudflare. If I was in it, yeah, it's a zone break for sure. Yeah, it's blue skies ahead. Yeah, this break, these zone break signals only appear if there's no other resistance level above. Yeah, definitely. It looks very bullish to me. So if you're in this trade, enjoy the ride. Congratulations.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we wrapped it up with symbol requests, guys.
Yeah,
Daniel, I'll pass it over to you.
perfect. Yeah, guys, and if a couple of housekeeping items, if you have not downloaded our ebook yet, please do so. Tradingindicators.com/power of three. If you don't have the dashboard yet, tradingindicators.com/view to get a full week trial to check out our awesome dashboard. We use it every single day and week to find interesting setups. So it's really powerful. And in these sessions here, we can only highlight a few of them, but there's so many fish in the ocean, plenty of fish, as they say. Lots of opportunity using the dashboard and its scanner. And of course, join our Discord channel, tradingindicators.com/Discord for a very friendly and helpful trading discussion with automated trade alerts, commentary, resources, and so forth. All right, guys. And if we have forgotten a question of yours, please contact us via tradingindicators.com, our homepage. Go to the main menu. You have a contact item there. Click on it. It opens up a contact form. Put your question there, and it will go straight to my inbox. And I'll make sure to get back to all your questions as soon as I can. All right, guys. So with this, I wish you all a great weekend. Lots of questions here. It was really nice. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time off, and exciting times ahead with the markets. Absolutely. So super excited to see what's going on next week, both from a swing trading point of view, but also from a day trading point of view. So make sure to check out Discord for some of the trades that we are considering in our own trading account. All right, guys, with that, happy weekend, happy trading. Bye bye. Thanks, Nicholas.